Integrated farming is an agricultural practice that combines livestock and crop production or fish and livestock production. In this system, a network of interconnected businesses is employed in such a manner that waste from one component becomes an input for another. This reduces costs while improving productivity and revenue. Farmers not only reduce waste by repurposing the garbage, but they also increase overall production for the entire farming system. Integrated farming attempts to simulate nature's idea of producing food by combining plants, animals, birds, fish and other aquatic flora and fauna with crops. Today, let me take you to Ololo Farm to learn more about integrated farming. Let's go! Thank you, Chef. Hello and welcome yet to another exciting episode of Kilimo na Biashara show. Well, the team is in Kajiado County and today we want to explore integrated farming, and not just your typical integrated type of farming that you're used to. Well, right here in this farm there is mushroom farming, there is poultry, name it. But this is a special show. Ask me why. What is really special is that there is a deaf community here and they are well represented and they are doing an amazing job right here in this particular farm. So are you curious to know what they are doing here? Then join me in the farm, shall we? Let's go. George.
Hey Linda.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Nice to meet you.
You too. Welcome to Ololo.
Thank you.
Great to have you here today.
I see beautiful things here. I see poultry, there are cows. Tell me about this.
So yeah, welcome to Ololo Farm. We started farming here around about 2015 with the premise to supply the lodge. You know, we get a lot of tourism here and we wanted to ensure that people staying here would be ensured the best quality produce, ensuring it's fresh and organic. So we started here with a small shamba and then we evolved into doing primarily poultry, doing chickens for meat and also for eggs.
Was that because that was the biggest demand from the lodge?
Yeah, I guess we wanted just to start some small livestock. And I'd had a bit of experience learning about poultry before. So we thought not many people in Kenya understood the pasture-raised model, which is raising chickens sort of beyond free range, but out on grass. Because when you give the poultry access to the fresh grass, you're improving the meat quality.
I am really curious to know more about the rest of the animals that you have here, the crops that you have here. But before then, what other projects are here? Because I heard it's a massive project happening down here.
Yeah, so here at Ololo Farm we focus on regenerative agriculture, which is somewhat a new term, but essentially the way I like to describe it is that we farm in a way that helps improve the environment and most importantly the soil. You know, I think a lot of farmers globally have not focused on protecting the soil health. So everything we do here above ground with livestock and our farming practices, we hope improves what happens below ground. So improving the soil and the soil organic matter. So yeah, beyond the poultry, we have introduced a small dairy herd, which we use for supplying the lodge with the milk. And then we sort of expanded into doing other small enterprises. Like we started with some oyster mushrooms, and now we've evolved into doing button mushrooms. And we also have ducks on the farm now.
It was incredibly rewarding to engage the deaf community who are making remarkable strides in the agricultural sector. Their dedication, innovation and hard work is truly inspiring. Witnessing their contributions firsthand showcased their resilience and the significant impact they have on advancing sustainable agricultural practices. So tell us about the inclusivity of the deaf community here.
The way I like to view agriculture, it's not just, in any business, you shouldn't just focus on profitability. There's certain pillars, and I have 3 pillars for us here. One being profitability, so it can be sustainable. 2, environmentally sustainable. But number 3, which is so important, is social inclusion. So we had 2 deaf people join the farm, I think back in 2016, William and Peter. And they were just such incredible people and such great workers that they introduced us to more of some old colleagues of theirs that they used to work at on another farm. So we kind of included them to the farm team and got to work with them. And now majority of the farm team actually know fluent sign language. I'm still working on mine, but it's been incredible to include them onto the farm projects.
So Linda, tell me about this project that we are seeing right here. I see there is poultry here. Tell us about it, and even the structure. It's a unique structure.
This is where we do most of our poultry production. So on this end, we do have our layer chicken, and we are mostly dealing with layer chicken from Kenchik. And this product is what we call the Highland Brown. So this is a breed that is highly productive in this kind of setting that we have. And for the most part, I think it's preferable to have this on our pasture-based system, which is what we try to practice as a farm.
When you say pasture-based, what do you mean?
I think the pasture-based system would be basically leaving the poultry around so that they can enjoy the grasses and the insects that are within the soil.
Tell me about this unique structure, because I've seen different types of poultry houses. Yes. This is quite unique.
These are what we call mobile coops. And the beauty about mobile coops is that they are easily movable. So our practice involves moving the houses at least once every 2 days. So that will enable us get fresh pasture for the birds and also create a fresh sleeping area. So when the birds come in at night, we do not have a lot of manure on the ground.
Wow, and I see that you also have ducks here.
Yes, we do have a few ducks on farm. I think it's a project that we've been very passionate about. And the interesting part, I think, will be because a lot of people really do not know how to rear ducks for the table. I'd call it table meat. Yes, so we picked up the project to be able to reach out to our customers who are interested in the ducks. And so far, it's been doing well for us.
So away from poultry,
yes,
tell me about the rest of the livestock that you keep here.
Okay, so we do have a few more animals on farm. We have a few cows to keep up with the milk production for the farm. And for now, we have a Frisian, an Asher and a Jersey. Yes, so we have quite good production of milk from the 3 cows, and we are hoping that we get more, at least more, yes, in the coming days.
And from the 3, you can get how many liters? How is the production?
We can do up to 150 liters of milk every day.
And the pigs?
We also do have pigs on the farm, just a few of them so that we can keep up with the waste from our kitchens. Yes, so we have a few Duroc pigs that are able to just devour the feed waste. That way we reduce the amount of waste that we have from our kitchens, and also keep the environment clean.
But also tell me now about the management. Having all these animals in one particular farm,
Yes.
how do you manage this?
I'd say we just make sure that you manage each and every portion of the animal involved as required. So for instance, we do have the housing part of it, where we make sure that the houses or the coops that we use for the poultry are in good condition, and also you have enough space to be able to move them around. That way you are able to manage the housing part of it. The other part I would say is the health side, where you keep up a lot with the health management of the animals, mostly in a natural way, because I also know that we need to get away from the antibiotic side of things. Yes, so we make sure that we have natural remedies in the form of maybe gingers, the garlics or the chilies or the papayas. That way we are able to curate our own, say, antibiotic that we are able to administer to the animals. Yes.
Wow. And tell us about during production,
Yes.
the amount of feeds they can really take must be massive. How do you ensure to break even?
Okay, so ideally, any production system would mean that the quantity of or the amount of finances you put up for feeds is up to 70% of what you would use to keep up with the whole farm. So the easier way would be to make sure that you are able to supplement the feeds from the shops. And in our case, we use a lot of azolla that we grow in our ponds to be able to just supplement the protein part for the animals. So azolla is just an aquatic fern that grows out easily in the ponds. So we are easily able to harvest and feed it directly to the birds or even the dairy cows or the pigs. So it's easier for us to cut the cost of feed. And the other way would be because we have a lot of black soldier fly on the farm. So black soldier fly also supplements the protein that we use in the feeds. Yes, ideally we can do up to 30 or 35% of protein from black soldier fly compared to what protein we normally get from the fish meal or the soybean meal.
Whoa, it's quite a unique farm, right? Just by the fact that this poultry house can be moved to a different place, leaving this particular place very fertile, is just mind-blowing, right? And thank you for staying with us. And from the animals, now we're moving to the crops. And right here we see a variety of crops that we have here. Let's join the agronomist who's in charge of this particular area and learn whether this is also a farm to fork aspect. Yeah? So tell me, what is here? I see there are a lot of crops. Tell me about it, and I see it has different structures. Tell me how you plan for this.
Here I do everything organic, and you find I'll begin with the soil health management, whereby I do use insect frass because we keep the black soldier flies. I also do composting to ensure I have enough of the compost manure, and some of the foliar that I use is the rabbit urine because it is highly rich in nitrogen. So I use the rabbit urine and also the vermity as a foliar fertilizer. And for the pest and disease management, number one thing is that I ensure I keep the farm hygiene, that is doing away with the infected plants and with the weeds and all that. I also plant some of the marigold to keep away some specific pests like the mobile beetle, free mobile beetle, that can be affecting some of the vegetables.
That's quite interesting. So tell us about syntropic. Is there a principle that you follow here? What's that principle?
Yes, so we have a section where our main aim is to regenerate the topsoil in that section. And you find for the indigenous plants and also fruit trees, whenever they produce more shade, we do more pruning to ensure we use the pruned leaves as mulching. So we do more of mulching, we use more of organic manure there.
And also, I'm just curious to know what's the end game for this, because venturing into organic farming is not easy. So perhaps tell us, why is it important?
It provides a long-term solution for the soil health. As you put in more of organic waste, it improves the aeration of the soil. It makes the nutrients available for the plants, because we find whenever you put the organic manure, the plants are able to take to a certain percentage.
And with all these crops, which one is the fastest moving, and which one is really one that you're truly proud of from this particular farm?
Yes, in this farm, I do grow more of salads, mixed salads, loose leaf lettuce, and also pak choy, parsley, coriander, because they use it on a daily basis, and also some nice herbs like the lemon verbena. They use it in herbal tea.
Linda, so tell us about this section.
Okay, so this is our value addition unit, which also doubles up as our storage unit. We do most of our processing on farm.
Which variety is this that you have? And why this variety as opposed to the rest of the varieties?
Okay, so the mushrooms that we have currently on farm are the white button mushrooms, and we prefer this over other varieties because of ease of maintenance and also likability by the customer. So most of our consumers are happy to have the white button mushrooms, and it's easier to maintain them on farm and also maybe transport. So that's why we chose the white button over the many other varieties that we have.
And you've talked about management. How is the management practices for that? How do you ensure that it gets to this point at a good, when it's in good state?
Most of the processes in the mushroom production always require us to be able to maintain certain temperatures and certain maybe measures of humidity. Yes, so we have to make sure that the carbon dioxide levels, for instance, in the production unit are up to par during a certain production period, yes, in the production stages.
And tell us now about, is this just for the local consumption for the hotel, for the lodge, or also you want to diversify to even selling it as a product?
Initially we started the project to be able to supply our lodge, but over time we have been able to build up the project so much that we have surplus production. So we are happy to also sell some of whatever we have left to our customers outside. Yes. We have different packages for the produce. We have a 200 gram package and also a 350 gram package. So the 200 gram package will retail for anything up to 200 shillings, and the bigger package, that's the 350 gram, will go for about 250 shillings.
And also for your clients here at the lodge, they ask for mushrooms, so that must be a good quality that you have here.
Yes, it's very interesting that you can do a lot with the mushroom. You don't have to just make it fresh. You can always preserve some to use as dry mushrooms. Then others you can crush and get mushroom powder that you can use in different soups. So the instance of our kitchen is that we have the mushroom powder. So we use a lot of it in the mushroom soups in the kitchen, and I can say it's a fan favorite so far. Yes.
So kindly introduce yourself.
Hello, my name is Blasio Egesa. That's my sign name. And I work at Ololo Farm. And my work is slaughtering the poultry. And after I slaughter them, we hang them there so that they can be able to dry. And after I distribute them to different places like Karen, So after we slaughter the poultry, we put them in warm water, which helps to remove the feathers. Then after, we clean them in disinfected water so that it's clean. Then we move them to this room, then hang them so that they are dry. Then sometimes we also count the number of poultry that we have slaughtered, and we separate the different parts of the poultry, like the breast and the wings. Then at night, that's when we start packing them so that in tomorrow morning they are distributed to different places.
And how did he learn this job? Because being in agriculture is not easy. How has it been for him?
Before, I studied in Mumias. That's where I grew up, and I studied there. And I was not aware about anything to do with agriculture. That's when I moved to Thika after class 8. So I started learning a bit of rabbit farming. After I left that work, and I came to DO organization. But after COVID, there was no job. So I started applying for jobs, and I got called to Ololo. My first job was to work in the nursery, tree seedlings. I continued working there. Then I was asked if I can be able to work in the slaughterhouse, and I said yes. So I came here. The first few days I was not quite good at it, but right now I improved and I'm good at it.
So encourage other people who think that when you're deaf you cannot work in the agricultural sector. What is his clarion call?
So sometimes a deaf person can say they cannot be able to work, but if you're able to see, you can be able to learn. Like for me, I was able to learn when I came here because I was able to, I saw what my leader was doing and I was able to know the steps. And after I repeated whatever I was seeing, so sometimes you may say that something is hard, you want to leave it, but it's possible. You just continue and everything is going to be easier.
So kindly introduce yourself and tell us what you do here and how long have you been here?
My name is Peter Ngeshu and I work here in the farm. I help in slaughtering of the poultry, working with the rabbits, the pigs, the cow, anything. All the animals here in the farm.
So how did you train for this?
Me, I love farming, but I did not study it in school. When I came here, the staff here taught me everything about the farm. The first time when I came here, I used to work in the farm, different crops like the fruits. But the boss taught and changed me. And now I started focusing on the animals in the farm. Before it was only a cow, but later chicken, rabbits, pigs were added in the farm, and they are all strong. So I'm comfortable working in different places in the farm.
Today we've seen how innovative integration of crops as well as animals can really create a sustainable as well as a productive farm. And what is truly mind-blowing in this farm is the fact that they've integrated the deaf community and they are playing a crucial role in ensuring that this Ololo farm thrives. So thank you so much for being part of the show today. Until next time, my name is Linda Koskei. See you next Sunday.